Now I'm going to demonstrate a medicine ball slam. There are lots of different ways to do a medicine ball slam depending on your personal preference and what kind of ball you have, what kind of material it is. But I'm going to talk about a couple key points. When you bend over to get the medicine ball, you want to make sure you're pushing back into your hips and not rounding at your low back. So you want to be pushing back into your hips and not rounding at your low back. So you push back into your hips. When you pick it up, you only want to bring the ball as high as you can keep your ribs down. If you bring the ball up high and you can't keep your ribs down and then you go to slam it, essentially you're driving the movement with your lumbar spine. So if you do this over and over again with a lot of force, that's not a good long-term strategy for your low back. So you want to make sure that you push back into your hips to pick it up, you only bring it as high as you can keep your ribs down, and you brace your core really hard and slam it as hard as you can. You also want to throw it right between your feet so that it doesn't get away from you. So I'm going to demonstrate. Push back into your hips, pick it up, only come up as high as you can keep your ribs down, and slam it as hard as you can. Pick it up. As I mentioned, there are a couple different ways to do it. Depending on what kind of ball you have, you might slam it and it might bounce all the way back up. Make sure you check that before you do it. We've had people slam it and then bend over to get it and get whacked in the face before. So make sure you know how high the ball is going to bounce before you throw it. Other people will take a ball of this material and slam it down and catch it. It really is whatever your preference is. As long as you're pushing back into your hips, keeping your ribs down, bracing your core, and throwing it as hard as you can, you'll be fine. So that's a medicine ball slam.